If you own a shop, this is the only podcast that's going to tell you the truth.
Welcome to the operator's table. What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the operator's table. I'm Mitch. We're here with Myron. Myron, how was your last week been? What are you up to?
Yeah, well, not much sleep. A lot of work into one of my other companies I'm getting started up. I'm actually opening up a brick and mortar for this other company, and so it's been a lot of my time being spent into that area of things.
Yeah.
And I'm not quite ready to talk about it yet, but when I am ready to talk about it, I will, announce it on here and, let everybody know what that company is. I know I've been kind of like on the down low about that company for, a while now. So. Yeah. Anyway, I just want to kind of get things rolling before I go and start talking about it. So
yeah, so it kind of sounds similar to the other weeks. You're just kind of just on the grind.
I feel like that's how it's going to be for the next few weeks. It's just going to be just work 7 days a week.
Yeah,
and it's almost like being back in the early white glove days.
Yeah. Well, if you watched last week, I said that I bought an elliptical that broke on me.
Yeah.
I tried to fix it, broke again. So there's that. No luck with that thing. I think I'm just gonna trash it now. But no, I'm trying to build up a little home gym. I'm trying to buy some stuff slowly. That shit gets expensive.
Yeah.
It's like when you look at like all the weights and all that stuff and all the machines and benches. Yeah, it gets expensive, but I'm working on it. Working on a little home gym, so we'll see how long it takes to get all that together. But
yeah, right.
All right, what are we talking about this week?
Yeah, so on this episode, what we're going to do is we're going to respond to a couple shops that have kind of gone viral in talking about XPEL. And, we're not here to talk crap about those shops or any other shop or talk crap about other films, but we're going to respond and be on the defense side of XPEL and kind of give our side of everything. And so first off, a little bit of background here is I own White Glove Auto. Mitch has been the store manager now for, close to a year. And he was a shop manager before that. And then he started as a wrap installer when he first started. So he's been with us for almost 6 years now.
Yep.
And so he's definitely got some knowledge in this area as well. And we have been an XPEL dealer since 2015. So it's been 11 years, almost 12 years now that we've been an XPEL dealer. We were trained, or I was trained by XPEL. You were trained by XPEL. A lot of our team has been trained by XPEL. And so we've done their PPF, we've done their ceramic coating, we've done their window tint, we've done their colored PPF. Pretty much their entire lineup of products that we've done. Even with Clearview, we do their architectural films. So we got a lot of experience with XPEL, the company, and their products. And so this is where we're going to come from on our side of things when we talk about XPEL, is that we do have quite a bit of experience here with XPEL. And the two companies that have been kind of going viral out here is, one is Shield by Design, and I believe they're in Dallas, Texas. And the owner typically makes videos every once in a while, talking bad about XPEL. And then another one is the Detail Doctor. So, I'm not sure where they're located, but they also have made a few viral videos talking about XPEL and how bad it is. And, so we want to kind of address what these guys are saying.
Yeah, so, from watching their videos and stuff, the main thing you get from them when they talk about, because they bring up the Detail Doctor, he specifically brings up a bunch of different films and compares them.
Yes.
I'm only going to talk on XPEL's behalf because that's what I have the most experience with. The number one thing that he will bring up is the clarity of the film. Okay, yes. So hold that thought for a minute, right? The clarity. And then you look at Shield by Design, and he brings up XPEL is shit film, it's bad film, all this stuff. Those two guys are specifically focused on the clarity and, and just the overall quality. Usage of that film, the quality of the film, right? Just overall quality. What they're not talking about is every other benefit that you'll get with XPEL.
Yeah.
That is tremendous. And that's, first of all, let's talk about the quality first. I think it's important.
Yeah.
Those guys and other people, if you've seen other videos from anyone really about this topic, right? It's clarity of the film. They've compared the films side by side, looked at the clarity. One film may be completely crystal clear, and XPEL or any other film may have some orange peel in it, right? I'm going to start off by saying that I've been with White Glove and working with XPEL for just about 6 years now. I have not had one customer reach back out to us and complain saying, man, I don't like the install. I see too much orange peel.
Yeah.
Have you heard anyone say that?
So in all of my almost 12 years of dealing with XPEL, I have never once heard a complaint about that. And before anybody says anything, we are the largest dealer in Oklahoma by far, and we are even larger than the majority of like Texas shops, and so we do 50 cars plus a week.
Yeah, we get through a lot of film.
We do a ton of installs, okay? And we've been doing this for a very long time. Never have we heard complaints about the clarity of the film.
No.
Ever.
No, that's not. So, and that's, look, don't get me wrong. I am not saying they're the clearest film on the market.
No.
That's not what I'm saying.
If you want to sit there and nitpick it, and like the detail doctor did, he put all the different brands next to each other,
right,
and he talks about the clarity of them. I'm telling you right now, they are hanging on to the clarity thing because that's like the only negative thing they can find out about XPEL, and they're just hanging on to that with every bit of, strength they have. They're just trying to like hang on to that aspect of the bad clarity of XPEL.
Yeah.
And I don't like that. I think that XPEL is a big company. They have gotten really huge. Obviously, in 2015 when I first started with them, they were pretty small, and they're now worldwide. They're publicly traded now, and they're getting a ton of attention. And naturally, as a company grows, they also get more hate. And so that's kind of normal. I say kind of normal. It's normal. And so, I mean, that's what they hang on to the most is the clarity of the film. But like we said, we've never heard a complaint about the clarity. Even, until these guys started talking about the clarity of the film, it was never really a big deal, I don't think.
Yeah, no, we're always looking at all our work that we do in the shop and make sure that quality is as best as it could be, right?
Yeah.
We look at every little aspect. We take customer concerns very seriously in our shop. Anything that gets brought up by a customer, we look into just to confirm that, okay, is this like a legitimate, complaint? Is there something we need to do about it? If we heard complaints about the quality of the film itself, we would have done something about it by now.
Yeah.
Right? We, like many other, shops who work on high-end cars, we will wrap as many corners and wraparounds as we could. All our edges are covered. We don't have customers showing up saying, hey, all these quarters are failing.
Yeah.
Right? Well, we have good installers. We have really good installers. So, I mean, they do a good job there. But if the film itself was not capable of holding those corners and holding the stretch and holding on these certain wraparounds, if the seams started opening up and wouldn't, hold us tight, we would hear about it and we would do something about it. That's just not a thing. I mean,
we have very picky customers, which I'm sure, a lot of shops out there probably do, especially with higher end cars.
Yeah.
And, if one of these picky customers had an issue like that, they would bring it up. Not only that, we do a 1 week quality check call where we are calling the customer and, hey, are you happy with everything? Was the install great? Is there any issues whatsoever? And that's another point for a customer to tell us if there's any issues.
And we advise every customer to bring their car back a week or two after for a checkup.
Yes.
Which we'll go over all the edges, make sure they're all sealed. If anything is lifting up, we'll clean it out, lay it back down, make sure they're good for the long run of their install. So really, it's like, it's crazy in me, right? Because these guys are just, again, it's like, maybe they're trying to be controversial or they're trying to stir something up, but it's like you said, they're hanging on by a thread to like the quality of the film. It's so bad. It's not.
Well, here's the deal.
I
The
mean,
quality of the film, the adhesive's good, the stretch is good, everything about the install is great. The only thing they complain about is the clarity, and
right.
then the second complaint would be yellowing.
Yeah.
But I want to kind of hit on the yellowing real quick. Is that any clear product, any clear PPF, a phone case, anything that's clear yellows with UV. Okay, it just happens over time. I don't care if it's GSWF or STEC or any other PPF brand, it all yellows. We've removed plenty of different brands of PPF throughout the years. They all yellow. It all yellows.
Yeah, it's funny because they'll roll up an old roll of PPF, or they'll remove PPF off a car that's maybe a couple years old or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And they'll roll it up and you'll see how yellow it is, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Where are the other videos for the rest of the films?
Yeah, exactly. Let's see the other films.
Let's be fair here.
And let's make sure it's the same time frame, not a day after install,
Right.
or something like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't see that same thing happening with the other films. They're not doing that.
Well, they're just again, their goal is they look up, they see XPEL, and they're like, okay, we're gonna go after them.
we're gonna try to bring them down.
Right.
Which
Right.
you're not going to do. Their XPEL's a pretty big monster of a company.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the other things, right? Because we just kind of discussed like the clarity of the film and whatever other issues they may have with it. What they're not talking about is literally every other positive aspect about XPEL.
Yeah.
And what companies and customers both get for using XPEL.
Yes.
Let's start with the customer. That's the most important for everyone who wants PPF installed in the car. Myron, talk about how a customer will benefit from having XPEL in their vehicle.
Yeah. Okay. So, number one, XPEL comes with a great 10-year warranty. A lot of PPF manufacturers out there now do offer a 10-year manufacturer warranty. I think that's pretty standard. And so you get that warranty, and it covers any manufacturer defects, right? And then so if anything does happen within the manufacturer defect-wise of the warranty, they can reach out to a dealer like us or any other dealer in the network or even XPEL directly, and they're going to get taken care of one way or another, whether it was the original shop that installed it or any other shop in the nation that installs XPEL. They will also take care of it. And the reason why that is because XPEL pays to have that done. So if there is ever a warranty issue, right, XPEL pays whatever shop it is that's doing the warranty work for the material and for the labor.
And for the labor, that's the key.
And there's a ton of people out there that think that XPEL only pays for material, and that's not true. They pay for material and labor, both. And they've always done that. We very rarely have ever had to file a warranty claim. I think probably in the whole history of the company, we've probably filed a warranty claim less than 15 times.
Yeah.
Okay. And every single time, they give us a fair value of the install, whatever it is that we're replacing, and have put it as a credit on our account that way you don't apply towards other materials, right?
Yep.
And so that's a benefit to the customer because they know that they're going to get taken care of no matter what because the shop's getting paid for it.
Yep.
If a shop wasn't getting paid for it, then they might want to brush them off or like, I don't want to mess with that kind of thing, But that's one thing you're going to get with XPEL is that, shops across the nation are going to want to take care of you. And then also, if you just call XPEL directly, if you have an issue with a particular shop or anything like that and you call XPEL, XPEL investigates. They make sure that the customer is taken care of. And so if you have a negative experience with a shop and they're not willing to help you if you have an issue or if you need a warranty replacement and they're not trying to help you out, then you call XPEL. XPEL's going to jump in and make sure that dealer does it, or they're going to make sure they take care of the customer one way or another, whether that's shipping their car to another dealer or whatever it is. They're going to make sure it's taken care of one way or another. And I've seen it time and time again. Not with us, but with other companies. I've heard many nightmare stories, and so that's going to be probably the biggest benefit is XPEL's customer service is above and beyond. And yes, they're a big corporation, and yes, the warranty stuff might take a little bit of time to get going or whatever. It might take a couple weeks to get something fixed if you go through XPEL and you're having issues. but it's going to happen. They
Yes.
are going to help you one way or another. It might not be overnight or a flip of a switch, but they're going to help you.
Yeah, and let's not like, skip over the fact how you mentioned, the network, the dealer network.
Yeah.
They're everywhere.
Yeah.
And we have plenty of customers, for example, we'll just use our customers as an example. We have customers who come from out of state who just trust Wycliffe Auto, which is our business, right?
Yeah.
They trust us. They want us to do the work.
Yeah.
We've had customers come from out of state. We've had customers move to a different state or a different area after the work has been completed by us. There's dealers everywhere. So if they do have an issue and they want to go back to an XPEL certified shop, you're gonna find one within a pretty close vicinity of where you are.
Yeah.
Pretty much anywhere you go.
Even we have done that for other dealers.
Oh, yeah,
where
we
a
have, yeah,
customer has
yep.
moved here.
Yep.
That had PPF installed somewhere else.
Yep.
And then they have an issue, and that shop will call us and be like, "Hey, can you take care of this customer for us, please? We'd appreciate it. We'll pay you, whatever."
Sure.
That network, I think, is probably the most valuable thing about XPEL.
Yes.
Is that no matter where you are in the country, you
Yep.
can get taken care of.
Yeah, and the customer knows that, okay, they don't have, like, they're always going to go to a certified dealer, right? And another thing I want to mention, which helps the shop, but also in turn helps the customer, is I've gone to a training in San Antonio for XPEL 3 different times now for 3 different services, and and their facilities are amazing. They do a great job teaching any new installer. They have basic classes, and they have advanced classes if you're really just trying to perfect your craft, and that in turns because they want their shops to have installers who know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They don't just want to hire any random guy off the street and have them trained the way they need to be trained.
Right.
They invest time into you, and they take care of you while you're there. Their facilities are great, and that allows these shops that these customers can go to pretty much anywhere in the nation to know and feel good about them going to a shop where the installer knows how to use that film.
Yeah.
You learn certain techniques. You learn specific techniques for XPEL, what works, the little ins and outs. This is all stuff that benefits both the customer and the shop using XPEL. So
Yeah.
there's a ton of positives. It just doesn't get spoken about.
I will say, too, one thing I think I like a lot about XPEL is that they have a fantastic engineering team. And this engineering team is always striving to make the products better.
Yep.
And so they reach out to get feedback, or if we are having an issue with anything in particular, then we can always reach out, talk to an engineer. They can walk us through certain things on how to fix that certain problem if we're having one. And then if there is an issue that needs to be fixed with their product, then they take that and they actually apply it. It might not be overnight. Obviously, they have massive amounts of inventory, and it probably takes them a little while to fix these issues. And they probably wait till they get like a compilation of multiple issues fixed before they push out a new product or a new version or whatever it is. But they do strive to always better their product, and I think that is also really big with XPEL and making sure that they're always putting out the best product they possibly can.
Yep.
Okay, and that goes back to the clarity thing. Is, well, if that's true, then why does their clarity suck? Well, the thing is that you have pros and cons when you build a film, and it's the adhesive layers and the polyurethane layers and everything, and you have to, if you want to make the film more clear, then you're usually taking away from somewhere else.
Right.
Maybe it's an adhesive thing that you're removing, or whatever it is.
Or
It's something
thinner
else.
film.
Right. You can't have like a perfect world where everything is absolutely great about a film. At least not in my opinion. I've installed many different brands of film, and not any film out there is perfect in every way. Every film has its own flaw, and I think you can take any brand out there, where these guys like Shield by Design, who touts GSWF, or the Detail Doctor, who I think touts Steck the most. Yeah, those are great products. But I guarantee you that they have their own flaws as well, and we could sit here and talk about how shitty that film is because of that flaw. But
That's
realistically,
just not how it works.
No, it's not. Every product out there has an issue, and that's just the way it is. There's not a perfect world out there for any product, So that's really what we're getting at here. But we also, or like I said, we're trying to point out all the benefits that you do get with XPEL.
Yep. Yeah, and the other thing that also helps shops and customers both is like our reps, right? XPEL's their vast reach that you have in different areas. We had Cody on one of the first episodes we recorded, and he was, he's our XPEL rep. And anytime I have an issue from the shop side, if I have an issue and I call, he answers the phone, he takes care of us.
Yep.
If I called him tomorrow and said, hey, this customer is having an issue with the film, or he's unhappy with the film, or he or she's unhappy with the film, Cody will, the first thing out of his mouth will be, I'm going to look into it for you right now. I'll get back to you shortly.
Yes.
It's always taking care of the shops, taking care of the customers for them.
Yes.
I talk to Cody regularly. I have conversations all the time with him. Anytime I need help with a last minute order for a customer, if the customer wants to get into our shop last minute, we don't have the film that they need, he'll push that order through for us. He'll make it happen. They take care of everybody.
Yeah.
And I know that Cody's not the only rep who takes care of their region that they, represent. Cody talks about all the other reps saying they're just as good. They do all these things. The whole point here is you gain so much. You gain so much from using an XPEL product from the customer standpoint and from the shop standpoint.
Yes.
It's frustrating to hear that, oh, this film sucks, but that's it. That's all they say.
Yeah.
The film sucks. Okay. The film sucks, but we're not talking about any, of the cons or pros of any of the other films.
Yeah.
It's just focused on XPEL is bad.
Yeah.
Why are you so focused on talking about how bad XPEL is? Just promote your product.
Yes.
Right? We don't sit here.
Here's kind of what I think. I think that, okay, so XPEL, yeah, they have requirements, they have standards as they've grown as a company, right? And so, I mean, they don't want to have too many XPEL shops in one territory. They don't want to have a shop come on board that's only going to buy a roll of PPF every couple months, right? They want to make sure that the shop's going to be doing production and, buying a certain amount of film every month or whatever it is. And what I think is there's a lot of shops out there that try to become an XPEL dealer because they want to, right? They want to be a part of the team. But then they get turned down because either there's too many in the area already, or because they can't meet the minimum requirements for purchases, or whatever it might be. And when that shop gets turned down is now when all the hatred starts coming on, right? Oh, XPEL sucks and their film sucks, and it's because they're all butthurt about not being able to join the XPEL team. Yep. And there's two examples, and I'm not going to mention the names, but they're local here in Tulsa. And one actually just recently put out a video even about, being careful what film product you choose and make sure you do your research.
Right.
But, they specifically, maybe a year ago, tried to become an XPEL dealer, and they were denied because there was too many in the area already. So they wanted to be an XPEL dealer. They wanted to do XPEL. They got denied. And now here they are making videos talking crap about XPEL and make sure that want to do your research beforehand, and XPEL's not the best just because they have good marketing or whatever it is. There's two companies here that have done that now, and I think that's why is because a lot of companies get butthurt about that. Yeah. And another thing that kind of rubs me the wrong way, especially with Shield by Design, is that the owner of Shield by Design previously had another shop before that, and that shop was an XPEL shop. He sold XPEL. Who knew? Yep, and he was real big in XPEL. And then XPEL acquired him. He sold to XPEL, right? So he got however much money he got from them. I don't know. They didn't disclose a dollar amount, but I would imagine it's probably in the millions. And then so he then worked for XPEL. I'm not sure exactly what position, but I think he worked within XPEL once that acquisition took place. And then after that separation and he moved away from XPEL, he started another shop, Shield by Design. Right. And now he does nothing but talk crap about XPEL. And so I can't help but think that something along the line there of the acquisition probably didn't go right or didn't go the way that he wanted to.
Or his employment after the acquisition.
Yeah, something happened there, and that just made him just like, oh, XPEL sucks, and the film sucks. Don't ever use XPEL, and it's like I don't understand that. It's like you were all XPEL, all Team XPEL, and then because something didn't go your way, now you're all fuck XPEL. I don't want XPEL, and I don't know the full story. I'm not going to act like I know the full story. All I know is what I've seen from their videos, what I've seen online, what I know from XPEL. It's like that's all I know, and I'm going off of that information, and I'm drawing my own conclusion here. So, it's just it rubs me the wrong way when I see that and hear those things, and it's like I don't get it.
All of the stuff you're talking about, right? It makes me like or me, and it makes me, and it should make anyone else watching those videos really think about how true is all the stuff that they're saying versus just how big of a deal are these guys trying to make it where it's really not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
Just because one guy literally sold XPEL for years through his business, then sold his company to XPEL, right? And now all of a sudden overnight it's XPEL stinks.
Yeah.
When people don't know that. Maybe a lot of people don't know that we're watching his videos. Maybe right now they're watching his videos going, yeah, you're right, XPEL, it's just marketing. Their film sucks. They don't know everything, right? No. They're just taking those videos at face value. And until you actually do some research, be like, hey, this guy used this film for years.
Yeah.
Right? And now he's whatever. Something, like you said, something happened on the back end, and now he's going in front of a camera saying, hey, XPEL sucks. How do you trust people like that? Like the info that he's giving you, if you're watching his videos, is just false.
Yeah.
Now, it's not 100% false, like you mentioned. Every film has its flaws.
Yeah.
Every brand has its flaws. Sure, I'm not saying they don't.
Right.
But don't sit here and say XPEL sucks. Meanwhile, you made a fortune off of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? You probably set yourself up, for life or whatever. It doesn't really matter. You made plenty of money selling your business to them.
Yeah.
Now you're turning around, snapping them back, saying they suck.
Yeah.
That's not cool to say say it nicely. It's like it doesn't make sense. And the other guy, that you were talking about, the detail doctor, it's just like a quick comparison at face value.
Yeah.
He does not talk about, I'd like him to make a video saying, hey, let's talk about all these brands and their customer service.
Yeah.
Or here's all the pros and cons you're going to get as a customer if you buy all these films.
Yeah.
Let's run through those scenarios.
Yeah.
Those would be tough for other films to match.
Yeah.
The network that you get, the option to go to any local shop anywhere you are in the U.S. It's not.
Let's be real here. It's like, yes, XPEL is a massive company, and they've done phenomenal with their marketing, and they've done a really good job at getting into these different markets. And you can't really, I don't know, you can't really argue with that. They're doing a great job, and you can't deny that. But it's not like they are just focused on, bringing in as much money as possible, marketing a good brand, and then giving out a shit product. That doesn't make any sense. Yeah. Because if you put out shit products all the time, then nobody's going to like your company. So it's like, you got to put two and two together there. You can't grow a massive company like that putting out crappy products.
Yes.
Think about that, So I don't know. And, again, let's be real here, is that there's many great brands out there. Steck is a great brand. I'm sure GSWF is a great brand. There's many great brands out there. I'm not saying XPEL is the top dog, the better than any other product out there. I think every product has its own strong suit, its own whatever for different areas of the country, different areas of the world, whatever it is, and it's just, everybody has pros and cons.
Yeah, and us being, a large enough shop, and we're the number one XPEL dealer in Oklahoma, so we could speak for, essentially every other XPEL shop.
Yeah.
When we say us as an example, we don't, I already mentioned it, we don't have customers who complain about the quality.
No.
We don't. We don't. We have customers. Listen, we're not a perfect shop. We have customers complain about other things. That's fine. We can get into that if we want. But like, as far as the quality of the film, no, it's not an issue. We just don't deal with it. I don't know. Like, there's not much more I can say there. Where it's like you're saying the product stinks. We work on 50 cars a week on average with this product, and no one complains about it.
Yeah.
So, what are you talking? I don't really get it. I don't get it.
Yeah, I don't get it either. Like I said, I really think a lot of it's just people get butt hurt. That's really what it comes down to. That's my personal opinion on it. There really isn't much else to say. We are going to tag these other shops in our video and see if they respond to us and see what they say.
Honestly, guys, I hope you do. Like, I hope they respond because I'd love to talk about it.
Yeah, I would. I'd
love to talk about it.
Always open to conversation. It'd be great to talk with these guys and really just see where their head's at and actually see if there's more to the story than what we're missing here or whatever it is, because we're not seeing it, and we've been with XPEL for almost 12 years now. And
they should come on the podcast.
Yeah, it would be great.
They should come on the podcast if they want, and we could talk about it.
Yeah,
have a nice conversation.
And just so everybody's clear, again, we're not talking crap about these companies. I think the Detail Doctor and Chill by Design have built great companies. Obviously, XPEL wanted to acquire the previous shop that the owner of Chill by Design had. That has something to be said about that.
For sure.
And I think Detail Doctor, he's got a good following and he puts out good quality. There's nothing wrong with those guys.
Yep.
But I think the information that they were putting out there about XPEL is just kind of ridiculous.
It's ridiculous and it's one-sided.
Yeah.
It's completely one-sided.
Yeah.
And I'll say that, I can just keep repeating that over and over. It's one-sided. You're not getting the whole story.
Yeah.
You're getting one negative about the film, potentially. Really, it's a negative that I haven't experienced, but we'll leave it at that, right? We'll say it's a negative. Yeah. All the positives, they're not coming out. They're not, being discussed. And all the negatives about all these other films aren't being discussed.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee you, like you said, there's something negative about every film. There's no perfect film.
Yes.
And
one more thing too is that one thing I've learned in business is that you don't get anywhere by talking crap about other shops or by talking crap about other products that maybe other shops use, right? That just makes you look bad.
Stay humble.
Yeah, exactly. And, so if you're going to talk about a product, at least talk about it fairly. And, that's really all I got to say about that. So.
Yeah, I don't have much more to add. I hope these shops respond. I'd love to talk
guys,
to them.
We're going to be tagging you in our video. Please respond. We want to hear from you guys. And again, our shop is White Glove Auto. You can see us on Instagram, Facebook, or any social media. We've got a fairly large following as well. And just check us out. See what you think. Reach out to us. We want to hear from you.
Absolutely, guys. We appreciate you guys watching. We'll see you again next week. We hope you have a great week ahead, and we'll catch you next time. We'll see you.